Most people don't realize this, but your entire life can change from a single moment. One decision, one realization, one turning point, and today. I want to share the story of a man who proved that you don't need luck, connections, or special talent to change your financial life. You only need a choice and commitment. His name is Ethan Miller. He was 27 years old, living in a small apartment in Columbus, Ohio. If you saw him on the street, you wouldn't think he was special. He worked a regular job, earned barely enough to survive, and felt like life was stuck on repeat. Every morning, he dragged himself out of bed, drove the same road, saw the same buildings, and wondered why nothing was changing. But the truth was brutal. His income wasn't rising, his debt kept growing. Rent never stopped increasing, his bank account was shrinking every month. And even though he worked hard, it felt like life was pushing him backwards. One cold January morning, he checked his bank balance before paying rent, and the number staring back at him was $47.15. That moment shook him. It wasn't just money, it was a reflection of where his life had ended up. He sat on the edge of his bed, shivering not because of the cold, but because of the realization that he had no direction. No savings, no plan, no backup, nothing. He felt powerless. But in that moment of frustration, something inside him woke up. He whispered to himself, "No one is coming to save me. If I want to change my life, it has to start now." That morning became the turning point. He didn't magically get smarter or luckier after that. But he did something most people never do. He changed the way he thought about money. He grabbed a notebook and wrote 3 sentences that would later transform his life. "My job is not my only income. I can learn any skill if I practice consistently. My habits today decide my financial future." He decided that instead of complaining about debt and low pay, he would find a way to increase his income. He asked himself a powerful question: what skill can change my income the fastest? He didn't choose crypto, gambling, or shortcuts. He chose something real, a high-income digital skill that anyone can learn: copywriting and digital marketing. Every night after work, he watched free tutorials. He paused, rewound, took notes, and practiced. He read books every morning before leaving for work. He studied ads from big companies and rewrote them to understand how they grabbed attention. The first few days were confusing. The first week felt overwhelming. But he kept going because he knew that the alternative, staying broke, was much more painful. After 30 days of practice, Ethan wasn't an expert, but he knew enough to start. He created a profile online and offered small writing services. His first client paid $20, then a $35 gig, then $50. And one night, while eating instant noodles, he received a $250 order. It wasn't the amount that mattered, it was the realization that his skills could earn him money at any time. He whispered, "If I can earn $250 once, I can earn it again." 6 months after that first $250 gig, Ethan was earning an extra $2,000 every month from freelancing. But unlike many people who spend money as soon as they earn it, Ethan had a different purpose. He used the extra income to pay off debt, build a $1,500 emergency fund, and start investing regularly. For the first time in his life, he felt control over his money instead of fear. His friends noticed the changes and asked how he did it. Some said he was lucky. Some said he found the perfect timing. But Ethan knew the truth. He simply stayed consistent when others gave up. He kept practicing. He kept learning. He kept improving. Around 1 year into his journey, something unexpected happened. A tech startup from the UK reached out after seeing his work online. They needed a remote copywriter and marketing strategist. They interviewed him over a video call and offered him a part-time contract worth $52,000 per year. Ethan stared at the offer, shocked. A year ago, he had $47 in his bank account. Now he had a remote job paying more than he had ever earned. He accepted the job, and suddenly, Ethan had three income streams: his main job, his freelancing, and his remote contract. His life transformed not because he found some magic formula, but because he built skills that people were willing to pay for. With his stable income, he started investing more seriously. He learned how compound interest works. He understood how money grows when you give it time. He invested in index funds, ETFs, and small digital tools for his freelancing work. His money finally started working for him. By the end of 2 years, Ethan had paid off all his debt. He saved enough to feel safe for the first time in his life. He even bought better equipment for his work: a laptop, a comfortable desk, and tools to improve his productivity. But he didn't stop there. He wanted something bigger. He wanted freedom, the kind of freedom where your time belongs to you, not to your boss or your job. So he took the next step. He started building his own small agency. He hired part-time freelancers, created simple offers, and began approaching clients nationwide. His agency wasn't huge at first, but every month it grew, slowly, consistently, steadily. And the more it grew, the more Ethan realized something powerful. Wealth doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from hundreds of small decisions done consistently. By year 3, Ethan had transformed his entire life. He had paid off every dollar of debt. His emergency fund had grown to 6 months of expenses. His investment portfolio reached over $35 and continued to compound. His agency was making steady revenue every month. He had built multiple income streams. He had built confidence. And most importantly, he had built freedom. People who once ignored him now asked him for advice. Co-workers who once laughed at the idea of freelancing now wanted to learn how he did it. They called him lucky, but Ethan knew the truth. Luck is what happens when you stay consistent long enough for opportunities to notice you. When people asked him what his biggest turning point was, he always told them, "It was the moment I saw $47 in my account. That pain woke me up." That moment didn't break him. It rebuilt him. And the truth is, your story can change the same way. You don't need special talent. You don't need connections. You don't need permission. You need one decision: the decision to learn a skill, to start today, and to stay consistent even when it feels slow. If Ethan could do it, so can you. If he could rise from $47 to financial freedom, so can you. What you do today determines where you'll be 3 years from now. Start learning. Start building. Start creating opportunities instead of waiting for them. And if this story inspired you, make sure you subscribe to Money Grind, where we turn financial struggles into financial power.